Welcome to Pagan Crafting. I'm your host, Cara. Today we're going to make a Mermaid Goth Decor. We're going to grab a Halloween decoration mermaid skeleton. Then we're going to add all kinds of goodies from moss to ferns to flowers. Bringing in some pearls. Join me today as we make this pre-Samhain decor. Starting off with your run-of-the-mill plastic mermaid. This is about 15 inches, solid white, and I'm going to be adding some beige, just some cream colors in here just to create some depth to this. It's just too flat of white, one shade of white. So I'm going to use some dry brushing with a fan brush. And just lightly going over some of the white, still using the white that's there. I'm not completely covering it up. And getting in all the nooks and crannies all around the rib cage. Now this is, I got a little bit much on, easy enough to dab off. It is craft acrylic paint, so it will adhere to the plastic quite well. And it won't peel off on you. There, so just adding some dry brushing, getting in everywhere. And then next what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some lighter cream color over top of that. Mixing up the colors just a little bit. And not forgetting the tail here either. So creating a bit of a darker cream here now with some brown contrast and just dragging it ever so slightly over just the little nooks and crannies and bumps and just be able to bring out some more of the detail that's actually in, which is really cool, which is in this skeleton. Need to be a little bit darker. Still using the other paint that's on it that is still wet, so it's blending really cool, giving some cool streaky fierceness going on here. She's going to be lathered up with paint and ready for beautification. So next up, what I like to do here is bring in some aquamarines. I have a light teal and I have a nice aquamarine. If you can make it a little darker if you'd like and add some royal blue to that. But I might use some of the white and even bring it in a little bit lighter. Not quite sure, but I have the three tones to play with. Now I'm just dabbing around just the outskirts. Just giving it some look, some feel to it. Of a little bit of color splash on it. And look at this, now you can see more of the spine coming out. Just that little bit of extra colors bringing out some more detail. Just dragging the brush ever so slightly on top of it, just barely kissing the paint on it, just enough that it's just going to take that little bit. Now I did let the beige paint halfway dry. I would still love a little bit of it to bleed through, catch through the greens, through the teals, and just to give it that little extra pop. And you can choose whatever colors you'd like. You might go with some purples or some royal blues, even some moss greens. But be careful with that because we are going to be laying down some I guess you call it maybe our seaweed, our moss weed. Haha, we'll make it work. I always like putting moss with everything. I think it looks good. I think it goes with a lot of my decor. A lot of my decor is pagan mushroom moss, hippie granola, shaman, witchy garden. Yes. I don't know what the heck. I think I got them all going on. But anyway, what I have here, I found this at a thrift store. And I was just looking for a really cool old serving platter. And I found this possibly $5. So I'm not going to shine her up. I'm not going to feel too bent out of shape. It was only $5. So figuring out where I'm going to place this girl here. And I didn't paint the back, but that's okay because we're not going to see it anyway. Lay down some hot glue down the spine and the shoulder blades on our little button ski, and the tippy of the tail. What we'll do is we'll secure that when we figure out where it's going to land on the plate. After you have her tail secured, place her arms how you wish. I'm going to leave mine just a little bit loose for now. If you want him crossing her chest or coming up to her brow, her hand, however you'd like. This one, I'm just going to relax. I'm just going to have her as just a piece that's hanging in my Odysseys little collection that I have. So laying in some reindeer moss. Now the reindeer moss is super soft. It stays soft and it's not dry, so you don't get dust and debris and dried moss everywhere. Oh my goodness. This stuff is so great. So I'm just giving her a little bed that she can nestle into. And then I'm going to be bringing in some other little foliage and whatnot throughout this piece. So these little bitty ferns were from an extra project left over from my fairy cormier. Oh my god, I gotta make another fairy cormier. Throw me down in the comments below if you'd like to see me make another fairy cormier. Maybe a goth fairy cormier. Oh, maybe I'll do a poll. We'll see. Throw me down in the comments if I should do another fairy cormier. I would love to hear what you have to say. So now that I have those positioned, we're going to simply just hot glue down these little bitty ferns. And they sit on this super well. Have some fun. We're going to just build up layers with this one. And then as we're building up layers, I'm also considering some other foliage I like to throw in here too. Now I really wish I would be able to find some seaweed. I can't. So I'm using little bitty ferns. I don't have the necessary weed that I'm looking for, which I really looked at tons of little craft stores and dollar stores, but the best I could do was ferns. But I'm really liking how this is rolling out. It makes me happy. It's like she was brought inland, she died at sea, and her lover, the captain, brought her in and laid her to rest in the forest, and this is what we find. Now again, I don't have the seaweed, but I do have a little darker foliage to play with. I have some beads. I think we need some pearls to happen in this too. Maybe she was buried with some treasure. I wound up adding the little bitty balls of pearls here and there throughout it. These are just some fake pearls, some from costume jewelry that I took apart. And I like how this necklace just frames around the mermaid. Gives it that little bit of extra. And I think where I have the other little balls and stuff like that of the pearls, I'm going to leave them as is. I'm going to bring in some darker foliage just to have it's just too much of one shade of green for me. So I'm bringing, yes, some more green, but just some darker to give it just some extra love to it. Now that all that has cooled down, I'm going to be bringing in some flowers. I thrifted a bag of these little roses for like $2, and there was there's a larger bag than what you see here, and it was like must have been from a wedding or something, because they were with a bunch of other crafts with the same red and black color. Boop. I like the red in the rib cage, kind of gives me some love feeling, some heart, some warmth. She was in love, buried inland, not at sea. And just finding a nice home for these little black roses, just placing them here and there and see what looks right. Just play around with your configuration. There's no right or wrong. Don't think about it too much. Just put some down as a look at here, yes or no. Do you like it? And just go as fast as you can. Try not to think about it. It does not have to be perfect. It just needs to be whimsical and fun. Well, thank you so very much for chilling out with me today. As always, it's so much fun to hang out with you. I was feeling some early Samhain vibes. I needed some mermaid vibes. I needed some skulls and skeletons. It's been a while. I also need to do a diorama. Ooh, throw me down in the comments below if you'd like to see me do a diorama. I haven't done one in months, and I have a couple in mind. Maybe I'll let you guys pick which will be the next one. Well, thanks for chilling out with me till the reveal, and I want to wish you an absolutely magical day.